Committee meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody here. Mr. Lesser, would you read our mission statement?
Sure. To improve the health and wellness of Nashville by providing equitable access to coordinated patient-centered care, supporting tomorrow's caregivers, and translating science into clinical practice.
Dr. Hudson, our vision.
Certainly. Leader in exceptional community health care, one neighbor at a time.
And at this point, I'll ask if anybody has a conflict of interest to please disclose it at this time. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir.
Okay. We have the minutes from our January 21, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. I don't think that we have any old business, and we'll move to new business. So the primary purpose of this meeting is to select a slate of officers for the Metropolitan Hospital Authority, and we're looking to fill chair, vice chair, and secretary. We have a list of board members who have been nominated for these positions. I think we'll start with secretary. We have two people that have expressed interest. One is Dr. Hudson, and the other is Dr. Nettles. Any discussion on that?
It looks like, Mr. Lesser, you've been
Somebody
nominated.
else nominated me, and I took my name off the list.
Gotcha. Okay, I see up here where it says no.
So I think that with in this setting, and it will come up with other positions, that we have the option of selecting one or just submitting a slate of two.
And I'll say, anytime I'm called, I'm just saying what I would be willing to do. But I think Dr. Nettles is doing well in that role. And so if she wants to continue with that, and so I know that transition in January, we kind of had some changes. I think she's been doing an exceptional job. And if she would like to remain functioning in that capacity, I think I'm happy to remove my name.
Okay. So do we have a motion to nominate a person to this role?
I nominate Dr. Nettles
Okay.
to be secretary of the board.
Is there a second?
I second that nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. So our nominee for secretary will be Dr. Nettles. We have a nomination for vice chair, and I believe that the only nominee that remains is David Esquivel. Is there a motion to nominate? A second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Wait. He's not part of the committee.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
I spoke up with
Dr. Nazare, you're welcome to participate, but not vote.
Good try, though.
Is there a motion to nominate David Esquivel?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then for chair, we have two nominations, Dr. Martin and Ms. Smith. I think that both of them are interested in serving. And so I think we have the option of nominating one of them or to nominate both of them or submit both of them to the board, and there will then be a vote of the board.
I personally like the idea of presenting a slate to the board. It's narrowed down to 2, and so that the voice of all of our peers is expressed and documented is something as important as chair. I've worked on nominating committees before, and that's what it was about. It's like receiving that slate of nominations and then ensuring individuals meet that criteria, and then we present it to the greater body of whatever that body is. So with 2 nominations, I just feel like we would be, 2 nominees, feel like we'd be doing our due diligence in our role to give everyone an opportunity to express who they would like to see in that leadership position. That's just my preference.
So you're saying to present to the full board both names?
Mm-hmm. For chair, for the board to cast a vote. And I think that's what Dr. Miller was just saying, that we have the option of presenting the 2 names or us picking one. So.
Yeah, I tend to have an alternate view.
Okay.
That as a nominating committee, we should be presenting to the board the slate that we recommend. And of course,
Okay.
at the board meeting, if someone wants to nominate someone else, I would fully accept that as an opportunity if someone so choose.
Yeah.
But I would like to see us make a recommendation for the 3 positions and move that before the full board.
Okay. Dr. Miller, do you have a stance on that either way?
I don't have a stance either way. I think that I think we have the option to do both. As a committee, we can decide which way we want to do it. So would I take that as a motion for you that you would like to nominate one?
I will make that motion, assuming that that is appropriate from our council perspective.
Yes, you can make
Okay, I move that we nominate and support a candidate for chair to be included as part of a full slate to be recommended to the board.
And Dr. Hudson, is it your still preference to submit 2?
That's my preference. I mean, I'm not married either way.
No.
I think both of them would be wonderful leaders. So I don't know what that means from a motion perspective. Or let me ask a clarifying question. This is a good time to ask a clarifying question to Mr. Lesser. So if we move one candidate forward and then the floor is open during the board meeting for other people to make nominations, would it be okay for them then just to nominate one of the people that, okay. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Yeah. That way, the
Yeah.
burden is then on the board members if they have any disagreement or objection to the slate that the nominating committee, which has looked at and discussed individually, of course, our preferences, and of course we haven't voted for an individual at this point. But it would leave the option open for the full board.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
But it would leave the option open for the full board.
Okay. I don't know, we have 2 different positions. Third chair, I don't know what happens in that, like, I mean,
Well, and in that setting, I think that I guess I would be the tiebreaker. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I think that in this setting, given the strong preference of both candidates, I think that we ought to allow both candidates to go forward in the nomination process. And, and it may be that by the time we get to the committee, we wouldn't have 2, but I think that I don't think that we ought to do the election here.
Well, we're not doing the election
Right.
here, though, Mr. Chairman. We are making a recommendation
Right.
and leaving the option open for the full board if there is an alternative view on any of the three candidates that we recommend.
Yeah, and I think too, just as a discussion piece, that also provides them an opportunity to present why they want the role, what they can bring to the role. I just would not want to rob someone, and I know the opportunity still exists for their name to be presented at that time. But again, in my experience, we just bring that nice clean slate to the group and then allow them to also participate in such an important decision. So I think I'm going to stand on that. I
Okay.
do.
All right. I think that my preference would be to submit the slate of two. So I guess that will be the decision of this committee to 2-1. Is that any more discussion?
I recommend that you have a motion to nominate the member or members that you would like to present, recommend.
Okay. All right. So Dr. Hudson.
I would like to, I move that we present a slate to the Hospital Authority Board at our next meeting. Our slate being for chair, Dr. Martin or Mrs. Smith. For vice chair, Mr.
We've actually already done that.
Oh, okay. So just
we
the, okay.
yeah.
Okay. My apologies.
Is there a second?
I think you're able to second, right? Or no?
I have to
I don't know that I can second.
Okay.
I think I can break a tie.
You can break a tie. Let's see. I'll have to do a little quick research on that question.
Okay. Our committee's too small.
Yeah. Looks like we might have a new member. What's that process look like for onboarding?
I got to give you credit if you can find that in there.
Oh, there's some tiny pages, some tiny font too. No pressure.
You know, whenever somebody says that,
No pressure.
it's precious.
Pressure. I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, I think that the problem is the size of our committee.
But I think that lends itself to
Efficiency.
2 or 3 individuals picking the, I mean, but I guess they have the opportunity to submit.
Just out of curiosity, and if I'm out of turn, stop me. What if there had been 3 nominations for chair? Would that process still be what you would have suggested?
I'm not sure. Record. When Dr. Miller began the conversation, he said he felt like it was our duty to present 1 to 2. So I hadn't had time to wrap my mind around 3. Maybe, I mean, it was at his.
You know, we have submitted 2 in the past.
Yeah. I feel like for sure before this last one, because I feel like I've been on it almost 4 years, and I feel like we have.
It was.
Okay.
I love his
You're welcome to stay.
Okay. Okay. Should I go to her office or hang out here? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I made sure that was on my calendar.
I don't believe that Robert's Rules requires it requires a seconding of a motion. So I think the motion can still come for a vote, even without a second. Your motion was the first, right? So I think in terms of procedure, since your motion was on the floor, that would have to be taken up first, and then the motion that was made.
So, Mr. Lesser, do you have a motion?
Yes, I stated it already.
Okay. So we'll vote on your motion to submit a clean slate.
Of
One.
candidates, 1 for each of the positions on the executive committee.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So we will now make a recommendation for chair. And is there a slate that you would like to propose?
I move that we present 2 names for chair, Dr. Robert Miller.
No.
Not you, sorry. Dr.
That was quick.
He's like, and no. My apologies. I move that we present a slate of candidates, Dr. Raymond Martin and Mrs. Christy Smith, for the position of chair for the general board to vote on.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay. Okay. So motion passes. And so we will now submit the slate of Dr. Martin and Ms. Smith for chair, Mr. Esquivel for vice chair, and Dr. Nettles for secretary. Is any other business that anybody would like to bring up? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.